Right, so now I'm going to show you how to dummy C++ and blueprints with a couple of mods, like a small mods. And generally how these work is all I need to do is show you how to do it for a couple of things, and then you can go from there. Possibilities are basically endless, limited to everything in these dumps. In this section I'm going to show you two example mods. First is killing the player on a button press. So this will demo the most basic of the C++ you'll need. And the second one will be a little bit more advanced. It is self-destructing Bosco on the button press. So this demos the dummy BP part. And requires no C++ writing, but is limited to the blueprint you're dummying. So, and in both examples, they will feature info on how to look through the C++ header dumps. First, you need to actually download the dumps, the latest version. I'll put a link in the description. And you just download the versions most recent. So here for me now it's update 34.5, which is the mod.io experimental update. And you also will need an editor or an IDE to look at the dumps. So I'm using C-Line here. It's kind of C or C++ IDE by JetBrains. And then for my IDE for actually dummying my C++ code for Unreal Engine, I'm using Rider for Unreal Engine, which again is another JetBrains program, and it's free. So it's way better than Visual Studio in my opinion. Visual Studio is slow and clunky and not very optimized for Unreal Engine. Rider for Unreal Engine, it's in its name, it's optimized for Unreal Engine. So I would use that. I'll put a link in the description for that. That survey link you have to do to actually get access to the license for that. So you'll notice that there's a lot of classes in these dumps. So don't be overwhelmed. Most of the main stuff you need is in this fst classes.h. It's about 20,000 lines of code. So it's a lot of stuff. But usually you'll just be Control F, so just finding the stuff you need. And you can always, just use keywords and everything. That's the main stuff. But if you can't find something you need, either in this file or any of these other ones, please don't hesitate to ask in mod chat in the DRG modding Discord. So back to killing the player on button press mod. So we actually need to find the function in the game which deals with killing the player. So we should always start by looking at fst classes.h, and what I'll do is I'll search kill. There's 75 results. If we just click word, now there's only one, because there's only one thing, which is the entire word is just kill. It's not kill inside anything else. So you see here inside uHealth component there is a function called kill. What we do with this is, if you see this actor damage causer, you don't have to worry about that. We don't need to pass through this stuff, because the game will do it anyway when we dummy it without passing in a new parameter. But the main thing to do here is to check what class, what struct this is. So this is the uHealth component base, and then inherits from uActor component. And you see this inherit is denoted by the colon if you aren't aware of that already. And when you're looking through functions and stuff, you'll see, oh look, there's has armor, get max armor, resupply, toggle can take damage, max health for enemy, and all of this stuff. So sometimes I'll just be looking for something in here, and then randomly just come across something which seems like a function which seems really cool, or a parameter which seems really cool, and I thought, oh, I could make a mod around that. So yeah, like feel free to just go wild with that. Now we actually need to create this dummy class called HealthComponentBase. We'll see that luckily it actually inherits from a default Unreal Engine class. So in the engine source, this is in there, and it's not a DRG specific thing. So that's good. So we don't need to go tracing back our steps, which we will cover later, because tracing steps does get a little bit more complicated. And now we'll go into the UE project, and anywhere inside the content browser, click New C++ class. Now it will ask us to choose a parent class, and it will say because our kill function is inside the class is a child of uActor component, we need to select actor component here. If we don't do this, the dummy class won't work. So now we have to name the C++ class the same name as the struct in the header dumps, minus the U on the front. So you say it says U, health component base, we just call it health component base. So if I do this, and I make sure get rid of the U, and then also if it's got an A on the front, if it's like an actor says A actor, remove the A as well. If it's F, remove the F, all that stuff. These letters are appended by Unreal Engine during onto the end, like onto the beginning, during runtime, which is why they're in the dumps. So here we call it health component base, and do not change this default path. So it should be FSD source FSD. So now we create class, and it'll take a little bit to do it. There we go. Now, if you click this button here, you'll see that now C++ classes has loaded. Now we don't want that, we want this. Okay, that is strange. Literally every single thing from the engine is there for some reason. I don't know why that is. I just want the ones from FSD. Please. There we go. Alright, I should do that then. Yeah, so click that show hide sources panel and click this. So now we see it should look like that because it's an actor component. And then if you double click it, it will open the IDE that's selected. If you want to change your IDE, you go to source code editor and then change it here. So I've got mine set to rider blah blah blah, this is current version. And yours might be Visual Studio 2019 or something. So now if I open this up, this will open rider for Unreal Engine. It takes a little bit because it's an untrusted solution. Oh, that's right. Forgot about that. And opened on the wrong screen. Love to see it. There we go. So just give it a sec to sync projects and everything, and apply IntelliSense. But you can see here that even though we called we called the actual class health component base, it still appended the U on the front because it inherits from a component base. Yeah, it's just doing initial fry press. This usually doesn't take this long because this is again the first time I've created a C++ class for this project. But it should look a little bit like this. Like this, there we go. Okay, so the C++ thing you don't need. Because I'm using rider from Unreal Engine, it automatically creates this blueprint spawnable component U class, which is really nice. If you're using Visual Studio or something else, it likely isn't going to do this, so you'll have to type this in manually if it hasn't already. Of course the syntax highlighting will change depending on what ID you're in or whatever. So now we actually need to write the dummy C++ function, the kill function. So if we go onto here, and under here what we want to do is, let's first do this and then show that. So it's called kill. So what we want to do is I'm going to type, so what we need to do is we actually need to reflect our dummy C++ function to blueprint. So something called a reflector. So for a function it's called U function, and then inside it we give it a property. So this is blueprint callable. It basically allows this function to be called in blueprint. It's kind of easy to remember from that. And we don't put a semicolon, so this isn't a line. But now what we do is to type void kill, because that's the name of the function we're dummying. And you can, if you want, you can make it nicer by doing this or something. It doesn't matter, but I like to have it all on the same line. And then you can just give it a you can define it here, whatever, and then we're all good. You can also make it, if I go to this source FSD, you can also make it in here somewhere. So like if I were to remove this, and then it says here, like function doesn't have a action list, generate definition. So we can generate a definition in here if we want. But I prefer to do it in line, because then we don't have to mess with this C++ class stuff. Is whatever, doesn't matter. So don't delete anything else in this file, that's very important. And now we can't just go back into the project. All we have to do is actually build FSD from your IDE. So this will compile all of the C++ code. And there's always going to be errors. I bet I'm probably going to get an error. Like, I'm going to say it's a 90% chance that I'm going to get an error here. Even though I've done nothing wrong, I'm pretty sure. Nope, it actually worked. Now I'm going to click stop instantly. And it should have refreshed these files, because I already had Unreal Engine loaded. If you had it closed, and then you just compile from here, you just keep it running, and this will open Unreal Engine itself. Right, so now we're actually going to access this dummied C++ class. So first I want to make mod, so let's remove this stuff. Go back into content, I'm going to make a mod, and it's going to be kill player. And here I want a blueprint of actor init space rig, and then I want another blueprint of actor called init cave, and then another one. Did I inside here? No, I didn't. Okay. Just wondering if I did folders for that. Actor. And this will be mod. So in here, to delete that stuff. And what we need to do is in setting, do this, I managed mod. Get to config. Mod name, kill, player. Mod author, me. Right. Now we actually need to create a widget with the button on it. So user interface, widget, kill player UI. And I forgot that. I'm actually going to delete that. I'm going to go into there we go. Let's delete this. And inside, I'm going to delete that as well actually. And then we're going to go input, common, button. Whoopsie, wrong place, there. And put this text inside the button. And align it in the middle, because why not? I'm going to call it kill player. And make sure this button is variable, and I'll call it kill player. Now we want get kill player. No, we don't. We want to click that on clicked. We want to kill player. Whoopsie, yeah. On kill player. And call it. So it's very simple stuff. Now if we go into our mod, and we make a variable, kill player UI ref, kill player UI object reference, on kill player. That's the wrong thing, we can't do that. First we create widget of kill player UI. And we set that. And then what we need to do is get config, and we get that. That's mod UI. And then eventually, now we oh yeah, that's the other thing. We also have to go init space rig, event graph, begin play. We spawn actor from class mod. There's two. We just rename this to mod underscore kill player. Please don't die. Thank you. Actor class mod underscore kill player. And that, and setting default can be damaged false. I forgot to do that, make a transform. That's why we always have to make the transform. Otherwise it just dies. Very nice. Right. We can go back to this. And then now we actually want to call the dummy class. So there's a lovely thing called get component by class, and then we get from the component. So the thing was called, was it health component base? There it is. And then we try off return value and type kill. And I believe actually, yeah, I don't remember it. What I'm going to do is close UE, and then I'm going to build back from this, because I don't think it actually like reset this. I don't think it actually built this properly. So now it'll load up UE. Because usually when you build and UE is currently open, it refreshes it, and then you hear a little, the noise it makes, the same noise it makes when packaging finishes. But I didn't hear that, so I did second guess myself. Let's open them. What's this? Yeah. I forgot to save, whoopsie. So, get component class of health. Turn kill. There it is, right. And there we go. No, that's not correct. What we want to do is return value, bind on kill player, and add custom event. And we'll do on kill player. Now, I'm going to show you just another quick thing that I like doing. If you disconnect this, and then do custom, let me do add, what was it? Event, create event, there we go. Then we can select this that we have, so on kill player. So now this is like floating on its own, it's not connected to anything. But this is now called by this create event node. So now when the button is clicked on the widget, call this, and then it kills the player. So theoretically you want to package, but first I just need to go package project settings, and I want to add something, and I don't want to package time control either, because that was an older mod. So package this, and theoretically this should work.
Good morning, sunshine.
Right, kill player. No, button does not work. That is interesting. Oh yes, I remember now. I forgot about something. So the next thing we need to do is we need to find an actual player to kill here, because currently we're just killing, but it's not, what are we killing? Nothing, not killing anything. So we've actually got to get a player to kill, we've got to give it a target. Now the way we do this is we actually dummy player character. So if we look in here, there's this thing called a player character, and it inherits from character. And then this is all of the stuff associated with the player. It's a lot. So if I go here, new C++ class, and I need to inherit it from character, I call it player character, because that's the name of the thing in here. In fact, something I always do, oh whoopsie, is do that, and then remove that, just because I'm paranoid that I'm spelling something wrong. Very nice. And hot reloaded. Very good. So this is the player character. We don't need to do anything with this. All we're doing is generating this so we can then inherit from it. So if I go into content, I've made a folder here called character, because inside this is a like if you go to the unpacked folders and then go content/character, you see there's a BP_player character in there, and we're dummying that. So we go blueprint class, go player character like this, select BP_player character, and we don't have to do anything inside it because we're just dummying. We're just dummying it, so we're not overwriting anything. So we don't need to do anything in here. Just compile and save. So now, if we go back into here, what we need to do is actually get that player. So we need to work on this logic. So there's a node from the UE base gameplay statistics library called getGameState. GetGameState. There we go. There it is. Because I was going from that. It's actually a pure function. Then from that, we get player array. We get player array, and then we make a for each with break, like this. And now, what we need to do is drag off the array element and type pawn private. So get pawn private, and then we cast to BP underscore player character this dummied blueprint. And that's taking off that object. So now, for this kill function, as blueprint, as BP player character, we put down the target, and then this execution node into this kill. And then when it kills, we will loop it back round, because let's say there were more than one player in the game. I want to kill all the players. By doing this, so this will loop through all the players in the game, and it will kill every single one of them. But I don't want to do that. After it kills, I want it just to kill the first player, so the host or whatever. So we'll just do that. So we'll package it now. But before we do that, if you try packaging this now and you kill yourself in the space rig, you have to reload the game, because nothing is there to revive you unless there's another player in the lobby, I guess. So what you could do is go into your kill player and just delete in its space rig, or delete this or something, and then the mod will do nothing. I'm just gonna leave it so I can just test very quickly. So just package it up.
Must remember to get my clothes washed.
So now, if I kill player, there we go. It killed me, and well, I mean, nothing is here to get me up, so I'll just be here forever until I disband. Oh, I can just respawn. Apparently, nope. That just breaks it more. Yeah. So you'd have to disband and reload. Or you can just get rid of it in a space rig, and it won't load in the space rig anymore. And that is. Oh, actually, another thing is, let's say you're using the alternate method. So let's say you're using alternate blueprint mod manager method. So as in you're not natively spawning. If you don't want it to run in the space rig, what you can do is actually you can something called get level name, and then check equals, whoopsie, equals, and then you check level underscore space rig. And then you branch. You might need this anyway at some point, possibly. And then if it is false, then we can kill. So I'll just drag that out a bit and make this a bit tidier. Yeah, that's all you need to know. And then this won't ever fire in the thing, but again, this is only for if you're not natively spawning your blueprint. And there you go, that is your first C++ mod. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is self-destruct Bosco when you press a button. So first we need to actually scout the dumps for where the Bosco blueprint is handled. So there's a blueprint in, if we look in here, there's a blueprint in unpacked content game context drone BP_Bosco. So if we go to that, it's called BP_Bosco_class.h because that's what the dumper appends onto the end. And inside here, you will see that there's a function called self-destruct, and that does exactly what you think it does. And then you see here Bosco, this blueprint is inherited from a Bosco, so that's a Bosco actor. Let's search a Bosco, just try and find where it's, there it is. So that's inherited from Deep Pathfinder character, which is basically pathfinding sort of stuff that DRG has. So Molly and, well, enemies and all that stuff. But if we look in here, there's a few other things. There's self-destruct again. There's also play salute, which looks interesting. So I thought, well, what I want to do now is I want him to salute and then self-destruct because it looks cooler. So we see here that it inherits from Deep Pathfinder character. Now we need to, when we actually make the blueprint in Unreal Engine, we need to inherit it from this, but this isn't a, this is not an Unreal Engine like a base function. This is a DRG specific thing, so we need to find this. If you hover over it in Rider at least, I don't know about Visual Studio or anything else. It says this is inherits from ASD pawn. So if you then go to that, that inherits from a pawn, which is then a an Unreal Engine function. No, sorry, Unreal Engine object. There we go. That's the word. So if I go to that, yeah, I just search this. There it is. So this is inherited from FSD pawn. So if I go to this and I find it, it should probably be above. There it is. And finally we're here. So what you need to do is track this chain and dummy this chain. So now what we need to do is the thing with when you're inheriting blueprints is you don't actually need to inherit from, you don't need to inherit BP_Bosco from a Bosco, you don't need to inherit that from Deep Pathfinder character, you don't need to inherit that from ASD pawn, you don't need to inherit that from a pawn. You can just go straight from BP_Bosco to a pawn. So it's, so with C++, however, you do have to make that chain. Otherwise, it won't work. So what we can get away with is, if I go to content, and then, what was the location? It was game elements drone. So content, game elements drone, and then inside here, a blueprint class, inherit that from pawn, and call that BP_Bosco. and it should look like this. We don't need to do anything in here. So now if I go to, I've made this mod very simple, just I get it from this UI, just a button. It's just a kill player one with a Bosco basically, and I've just made it here. So now all we have to do is basically just there's a nice function called get actor of class. Let me select the class, so I want BP_Bosco, and then we can just oh, that's right, I forgot to do something. So I need to go back into game elements, drone BP_Bosco, go into open full blueprint editor if that's there, and then we make 2D functions, one called play salute and another called self destruct. And we don't need to put anything inside these, because what we're doing here is we're dummying these two functions inside a Bosco. So we're dummying these two functions. If you wanted to dummy any of these variables, then you just add them to local variables. If you want to dummy event dispatchers, add them to event dispatchers. Sorry, not local variables, just variables. Same with macros, functions, etc. So that's all we had to do here, and now what we can do is we can actually go in here and go play salute. We can call that function. And then after we salute, we want to kill it. So there should also be self-destruct. There we go. I'll just bring this over here. And there we go. Also, if a function has, let me see if I can find an example. See here. If a function say on weapon fired or whatever, that's not actually a function. That's there we go. Let me find a better one. Here we go. Set is reviving. If it has a boolean and you want to actually input that in, what you do is you just go and you go to you make the function set is reviving in here, and inputs you just make your boolean is reviving. It doesn't matter what that is, but there you go. That's how you do it, and then you can pass it in here. You can do outputs as well, and it's very nice. Now you might be thinking, well, if I play this salute and then it self-destructs immediately after, then might I like not see the salute or something? Well, I checked in here, and if you open this BP_Bosco in asset editor, and then go to block 12, this has all of these values you see in the dumps, and salute duration has 4 seconds. So actually, this plays for 4 seconds and then this is called. So yeah, that's basically the mod. So let me now test this.
I could use a day off, but not today.
Right. So yeah, Bosco self-destruct is there. I forgot to get rid of the kill play, but that doesn't matter. So let's just go into a mission.
Drop pod is cleared. Warm up. Time to get to work, team. Drop pod is ready. Time to leave.
There we go.
Let's get the shotgun
spawned some hogs when the drop pod has landed. So anyway, there's Bosco, hello.
Bring it back, boys.
Right. Let's now self-destruct Bosco. So he's saluting. And now he blows up. So yeah, there we go. The mod works good. And I can't get revived anymore because Bosco's dead.